Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
Yo, Pops Van Zant here. The Madness Comic Network is evolving into the Madness Roku Network. We're taking our stuff to Roku. We're joining great channels like the American Horrors channel. We're taking our stuff over there, guys. We love it over there. You're going to love what we bring you. We got some great shows, all kinds of different stuff. Come join the madness, yo. Madness Roku Network right here. Peace.
What is Path of the Pale Rider anyway? Is it a comic book?
Yo, Pops Van Zant here. The Madness Comic Network is evolving into the Madness Roku Network. We're taking our stuff to Roku. We're joining great channels like the American Horrors Channel. We're taking our stuff over there, guys. We love it over there. You're going to love what we bring you. We got some great shows, all kinds of different stuff. Come join the madness, yo. Madness Roku Network right here. Peace.
I'm sorry. The buttons hate me today. I'm doing my best. I'm pushing the things and they're not playing, or they're playing wrong things. I got one more to play and then I'll be... What is Path of the Pale Rider anyway? Is it a comic book? No, that's not it. Is it this? What the heck is Path of the Pale Rider, man? There's no way this is right. How about this? I really have no idea.
We're gonna rob a bank.
Oh, it's this.
The Madness Comic Network and comic-related madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant on YouTube.
Well, that was fun. The buttons just hate me. Crom decided to sneak into the internet and push all the buttons willy-nilly while I was trying to play some respectable ads. I'm telling you, man, sometimes I push things and it either doesn't play, or I push the things and it plays something else, and I got to blame it on Crom. I don't know what else. There's no other excuse. The internet just comes out and bites you. So I hope you're all having a good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm here with my coffee, with my Scully head I added to. So it's like, legit Path of the Pale Rider now, whatever. And there's so many things going on right now. Path of the Pale Rider, we have fulfilled issue number 3. We're moving on to issue number 4. I've been blasting that Kickstarter pre-launch link. If you haven't signed up yet, let me drop that there for you. Would help if I had that ready. Of course not. I'm too busy getting kicked out of StreamYard this morning. Oh yes, Keith got his book. Right? And it was just which cover did you get, Keith? I'm trying to remember. Did you get that? You got the David Sanchez cover? If I remember, which was such an amazing cover. Just the whole black and white, and what David Sanchez can do with like a freaking colored pencil blows my mind. It just blows my mind. So here's the link for Path of the Pale Rider number 4. Go sign up so you can get in on those early bird specials, of course. I always have something up my sleeves. You know me. We're adding some trucker stuff. Oh, look, wait, hold on. Wow. Da-da-da-da-da. Books. That is all. Keith got main cover as well, which is amazing. Marco DeFillo's covers are amazing. So anyway, issue number 4 is coming out soon. I'm going to be working on the Kickstarter welcome video this week. And the short film is written. I'm working on my main actor to make sure his schedule is clear so we can start filming that as well. You all are going to be seeing the return of Ellie Brock, recently undead Ellie Brock, who's smashed by the car. She's going to be joining me to tell everybody about Path of the Pale Rider #4. So that should be interesting. Partial default covers. Yeah, I know. And the art of those have been so far insane, although I'm a bit jealous I didn't get one of those holographic ones. I feel you. Now, these were special Indiegogo second chance campaign. Oh, I only have there's 10 of these total between issues 1, 2, and 3, and 3 of them are mine. So the people that got these were super lucky. It was just one of those things where I decided to do something extra and then didn't really promote it. Why? Because I was lazy. That's why. It was an experiment. Anywho, I will probably do a holographic for 4 as well, Preem, just because I like to have things as a set. So 1 through 4 is kind of like the first part of the first arc. You know what I mean? It's like, what do they call that? Stage 1, whatever, in a movie where it's like the first part of the. I'm just gonna move on. Anyways, Dawn got the Choose Your Own Adventure. So I killed her, unkilled her, chomped on her, and she fell off shit, and she keeps going back for more. That Choose Your Own Adventure is a ton of fun. I recommend that. If you haven't gotten that, I won't kill you with dysentery, but you could die of undead bear. So, and that's true. When I was there in Michigan doing a book signing, I got to meet all the culture junkies. They all came out and supported me and my books, which was super special. And I appreciate them. They're family now. We broke bread, all of that good stuff. So love you guys. I want to give some quick shout outs to the people who have real quick, like this is going to go super fast, right? So Matt Knowles is doing I Am Keto. If you are not familiar with this, this is martial arts and like heavy metal. They have a really cool song. It's like it's great. Then they just they passed their goals, so they are funded. They're working on stretch goals at this point. Please check them out. There's also, of course, my bestie. Why is my stuff not working? Crom is here again. I cannot get this to work. No, let's try again. For the Chaos, of course, is running issue number 6 because she will not stop. She refuses. And they are what? 273% funded. So check them out. She wants to hit 120 backers. So if you can help her get there, that would be great. She's pushing hard. It's hard when you run every other month, right? To really push, which is what she does. So amazing campaign. I, of course, am a backer. I need to build my collection. I backed this wrap cover, which is amazing. I'm looking forward to that one. If you love Anubis, there is that. Of course, if you have not seen the Madness Kickstarter, here it is. Now, like me, if you are a content creator, myself, Preem, so many people have their own shows. I've been on so many wonderful podcasts. And let me tell you, I have been copyrighted, claimed on my voice, which is dumb. I have had YouTube. Well, I haven't had this, but other people have had like their YouTube has the black screen. There's just a ton of censorship that you're fighting. This is the answer. We're building a Roku channel where everybody can kind of come and bring their show, bring their past content. We can all have a comic related madness Roku network. There's a ton of stuff available. You guys need to really come check it out because even if you're a fan and you just want to watch the Roku, you can get like sketch cards and art and comic books and t-shirts. But if you're a creator like myself, you can bring your show. You can bring your whole show and all of your content here. Preem, you want to talk to you about this Choose Your Own Adventure thing? Yes, you could be murdered in a creative way. You're
can I segue that into you can be drawn into Laurie's book on this campaign?
Right. You can do that. I also have a smash ad. Where is it? It's $100. Here it is. See this one with the pumpkin over here? So if you want to have your ad play on the Tuesday morning brew, I will write the name of your show, the name of your comic book, the name of your comic, whatever you want on a pumpkin, watermelon, piece of fruit, whatever. And then I'll smash the crap out of it on my show. And not only do you get to see that, but you also get to have a copy for yourself so you can promote yourself with me dressed as a Pikachu with the giant machete. You know what I mean? So there's lots of options here, but I digress. But Preem, there is a choose your own adventure. It's an add-on in our next, it's an add-on in every campaign at this point, where you can put on the boots and the hat and walk around the West, and you run bounties and see how long you survive. There's some pretty gory deaths that I've written. It's yeah, I know, Keith, man.
Let me jump
Ooh.
in. I got to jump in. Look, museum is art. Okay. If you want to bring that show to our network, you're not going to have to worry about the copyright mess and all that stuff. Okay. We're going to work directly with the DMCA, and only the DMCA is going to tell us what content can and cannot be up on our network. So
yeah, less headache, man. So we're still have like, it'll be live on YouTube. You'll be able to catch it live, but then after that, you'll just have to go to the Roku for the replay. So we're not excluding anybody. We're just creating another avenue where people can see it and they can't take it down. They can't demonetize it. They can't take your hard work and say that someone else is claiming it for copyright when it's like you talking.
And the other thing is, like, you've got Twitch, and Twitch kind of nails you into that corner where you can only do stuff on their Look, I'm not going to tell you you can't put your stuff on YouTube or Rumble or wherever the hell you want to put it. I'm just inviting you another platform to put it on. Right. And I'm not going to try to tell you what you can do with your content. I don't think that's right. So, there you go. Peace.
Burrito. Sorry, that was a little out of control. Anyway, let's talk to our guest today. I'm super excited to have Peter Mellini here today. He is a comic book store owner and a comic book creator. That's the best of both worlds, right? And I'm really looking forward to picking his brain on some of the things that LCS, comic book store owners look for when like indie people like myself are like, hi, my name's Laurie. I write a comic. Would you like to put it on your shelf? Because half the time the answer is no, right? So what are you looking for? So we'll talk about that. But I really want to show off his comic as well, which is currently running a campaign. Didn't I say there's so much good stuff? There is so much good stuff. And this one, he was generous enough to let me read the PDFs so I could have a taste of it. And it's amazing. If you like, it's like superheroes, space invaders, monkeys with ray guns, some family drama, and some La Luchadore masks. Hey, man, this is for you. Everybody, welcome Peter. Hello, Peter. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Tuesday Morning Brew. Happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody is looking at your screen. Obviously, he is at his store at the moment, which is really cool. Plug your store real quick. Where are you at? What's the name?
We're Nostalgic Comic Shop in San Gabriel, California.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's early for you then, man.
Yeah.
Peter was like, I'm going to head to my store. And I was like, yeah, great. No, you're perfect. And then when you just said that, I was like, oh, it's early.
Yeah.
Do you have your coffee?
Yeah, I know, right? Not yet, but I'm good.
Yeah, he's like, not yet, man. I just need that coffee. That's funny. Well, yeah, and we were just talking back screen real quick that we would love to have a show on the madness with LCS owners. I think that you guys have a unique perspective on comic books, and we could get like, I know four LCS owners right off the top of my head that you guys could have a show and talk about what it's like to own a comic book store and all the struggles and hassles and joys that go along with that. And that would be really fun.
That'd be really cool. It's funny because a couple of years ago, I was hanging out with another comic shop owner, and it was interesting because we were talking about like ordering and stuff like that. And it was interesting because it felt like, oh, you speak my language, like you understand.
See? It is. It's its own thing. Because even with like indie comics, like I was talking to my husband about like, I don't know, like talking to artists and this and the other, and he's just like, none of that made any sense to me. It's like, good to know. We are our own topic, right? That's how it is.
Like even this Kickstarter stuff, like I read about stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand half of it. Like I just, just tell me how to do it, and like I'll.
It takes a bit, and I gotta say, when I first started, I was blissfully unaware of all the things that I was doing wrong. But that's what's so great about this community, where it's like, you have questions, just ask somebody. Where I'll be like, yeah, no, then dude, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is where you get the cheap shipping, and add backer kit if you want this. And everybody is very helpful, to the point where you'll get so many opinions. Sometimes that's overwhelming too. It's like everybody
Look,
tells you something different. So you have to wade through and figure out, what works for you, what works for your project and your audience. So I'm gonna shut up for a little bit. Obviously, I'm over caffeinated at this point. Will you tell people like who you are, how you got into, what's your origin story, Peter? I want to hear it.
that's a long story.
Well, we got 2 hours, man.
I think like anyone around my age, I really got into comics around the time of the Death of Superman, the beginning of the Image era.
Yes, that's me too.
There you go. I was like elementary
Yeah.
school that was happening, so I was like getting really into it, and like it was a real weird era, man. Because I remember at one point when we were in school, we had this thing where like once a day for like 20 minutes, we got to read whatever we wanted to.
Yeah.
And I would try to bring comic books with me, and the teacher would take them away from me.
Really?
And, yeah, and it was like the weirdest thing was like, oh, she would take it away from me, but she was like, oh, here's this like basketball magazine, and I'm like, well, why is that okay?
Yeah. What's the difference? If there's
Yeah,
words in it and I'm reading.
yeah. And so I got into comics, and I didn't meet someone that was also in the comics like I was in high school. Like
Yeah.
it was a whole different era. Like it was a whole different time,
Yeah.
And but yeah, I always wanted to work in comics in one way or another. Like I wanted to draw comics, but I'm a terrible artist.
I
Yeah,
mean, I can do some things, but I can't do this.
yeah, right.
This is its own animal. This is not easy. I know a lot of people are like, nah, comics. No,
Yeah.
telling a story and having people connect emotionally to your characters and telling it sequentially like a movie, but knowing how much information to put
Yeah.
in on a panel is so hard.
Oh yeah.
There's no way I could do it.
Yeah. But yeah, and I got into comics. I was reading comics. I've been reading comics for like 30 years, 30 plus years now.
Yeah.
And I in college, I worked at a comic book store for about 3 years. I worked there until it closed. Like I just kept it going, and then when that closed, I was fresh out of college, and I started working in like offices. I was doing like temp work,
Yeah.
and it got to a point where like I thought like, well, this is it. This is what I'm doing, I guess, right? And
I know.
and then I ended up getting a full-time job at this office, and they laid me off a week before Christmas.
What
And
year was this?
this was about 10 years ago. This was about 10, 11 years ago. Oh yeah, at least 11 years ago. So then I was like, I remember at the time I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go on unemployment, and I'm gonna try to do this store thing. I'm gonna try to. That was always the goal, to open a store.
Yeah.
And I just happened to like, and then I was doing. I had a list of what do you call it? I had a pull list of people that I was getting comics for every week.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a store. I would literally meet them like in front of like a burger place.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that for like a year, and it was cool. It was fun. And then I just happened to meet this guy who had a store but didn't have the time to run it, and so I offered to work part time, and that's kind of rolled into a whole thing. About a year into that, he decided he wanted to close, and I was like, well, let me just buy the store.
That's awesome. But see, at this point, you've already had experience in multiple stores, understanding how to run them, ordering supplies, how the ordering works,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Because I feel like some people get into it because they love comics, but they don't understand the business side of it. And you did it the right way, where it's like, I understand. You were trained, you experienced it, you had all that years of experience before you even jumped in. So I think that was smart.
Yeah, and it was cool, and then we worked there, and I owned that store for about 10 years, or a little less than 10 years, and then COVID hit, and that got a little scary. Like we were closed for a couple months.
Yeah.
But then what happened was it sucked. It just about like November 2020, like we were finally kind of back on our feet, and our landlord was like, "Oh, I'm selling the building."
What?
Yeah,
You're like, we survived the shutdown.
yeah,
For you to sell the. All right,
yeah.
that's great.
And so, so that was I got back into the scary part again, but luckily we were able to find a new place about a half mile from the old location, and
Okay.
we've been here for about 2 years now, and
Okay.
it's pretty good. Like we're on a main street. We're right across the street from the library. So like
Oh,
it
nice.
yeah. So it's been pretty cool.
That's cool.
I've been doing
How
that.
was it moving all your stuff?
Oh man, that was a headache.
Yeah.
Especially they had originally told us they were gonna give us about 2 weeks to like so we can move, and we had like less than a week. They were like, nope.
Oh,
nope."
what a
Yeah,
nightmare.
I mean the only benefit was that this new store we're in is about 3 times the size of the old store,
Okay.
so it was easier to move stuff, but also like it was also like how do we fill this place,
Right. You're like, I need to make it look like we actually have stuff. You're like,
Yeah,
I need to order things.
yeah.
Ugh, what a headache.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
But
So how did you get into writing comics?
so that was something I've always wanted to do. Like once I realized I couldn't draw, I was
Right. You and
like
me
some
both.
yeah, somebody needs to right.
Right.
And at the time, I was gonna when I got into college, there really wasn't like a comic writing class. There wasn't like
No.
like the closest thing you could do. Like I hated it because it was like the closest thing you had was like creative writing, and like half
Mhm.
half of those classes I take, it's always like, oh, we're gonna write a poem. Like it's like like again, right? And then there was screenwriting, which was like I kind of looked into, but it's a whole different animal.
It is. It's probably the closest thing,
Yeah.
but it's still not the same. And because that's kind of the route that I went is I went screenwrite, I was in production, I was doing some screenwriting. And I just got lucky that my artist can read the script and
Mhm.
panel from there because usually people, if you're not familiar with comic book writing, you write page, panel,
Yeah.
description. So you tell the artist, how many panels are on the page, what is happening in each panel, right? How it
Hmm.
progresses, and then the kind of like the overall arc, theme, whatever is going on. You give them a ton of information so that they can craft it the way that you're seeing it in your head. Now with script writing, it's just like this person, and here's a description, and they're outside, and then you have dialogue. But it's like, how many pages is this? How are they standing? What's the camera angle? So
Hmm.
there's really none of that, in screenwriting. So it's just completely different.
Yeah.
So how do you currently write? Do you write comic book style?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You do.
I ended up studying a lot of like once I realized there wasn't really a class for it, I started like luckily like Image and a couple other big studios were putting out like actual script books, and so I bought a lot of those, and I just was like
That's
studying
smart.
how that worked. And so it was kind of funny because you think like you were talking about how it's very like structured, but then
Uh-huh.
you like I remember like I was a big Kirkman fan,
Oh,
and
Kirkman.
a lot
Kirkman
of
is his own animal.
yeah, a lot of his scripts are just like he'll literally say like make it look cool,
Yeah.
like
You're like, there's a fight.
yeah,
What does
just
that look like to you?
yeah. And basically that's why I learned how to do it that way. Like I'm a big sucker for like DC does a lot of those like director's cuts,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of cool because like you could I buy those because you see like oh what does the Grant Morrison script look like like
Right.
you know I remember I don't know what book it was I have a Alan Moore script somewhere, and that is like
Oh,
a headache. like
I
he's
don't think
so
I've read an Alan Moore script. That would be
yeah,
interesting
like
to see in his brain.
he'll go like 4 pages on one comic page.
See, I
It's
would think would be like
yeah,
Tolkien when Tolkien was like talking about like landscape. There'd be like 3 pages of like in The Hobbit of him talking about the landscape. And you're
yeah,
like, why does this matter? Like
exactly.
that's Alan Moore, I
Yeah.
betcha. Mhm.
Oh yeah. It's a big task. But yeah, no. Then while working at the store, I met my co-writer Miguel Acedo, and he was studying script writing, film script writing at a local college, and now he actually teaches it.
What? That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so cool.
So we got to like talking, and for the last like 10 years, we've pitched so many comics, you know, just ideas I do at some point. And this comic actually, we've been working on this comic for a long time because we got into this idea of like public domain characters. Like that's a big thing right now.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I found a list of like 400 public domain characters, something like that. And I sent it to him, and I said, all right, I go read through this list, find anything you think is cool. I'll do the same thing, and then we'll come back and, you know, and talk about it. And both of us had come across this character called the Fat Man, the Human Flying Saucer. And
oh, I can totally see. Okay.
And so the thing was, it's funny because Fat Man, the Human Flying Saucer was the second book that the creators of Shazam worked on.
Really?
Yeah. And if you look at that character, he's literally wearing like a green Shazam costume. And it was just, we were both like fascinated by that. And the funny thing was that when he mentioned it, I was like, wait a minute. And I went on my Instagram and I looked, you know, like a year or two back. I had bought a box of comics from somebody. And one of those issues was in there. And I took a picture of it and I posted on my Instagram. And I was saying, like, this is such a weird idea. I want to adapt this one day.
Yes. That is so weird. It is kind of a weird concept, right? But now when you say the name, I was just like, oh, it makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
Because look, people, it's Gordo, the Teenage Flying Saucer. And of course, Gordo means fatty.
Yeah.
So there you go. Fat Man, what is it? What was it called?
Yeah, Fat Man, the Human Flying Saucer.
Hello, John. How are you, sir?
Used 3 issues before the studio went out of business.
Oh yeah, they were probably like, we're done with this anyway. I don't know.
And it was one of those ideas where we just liked the idea, and then we were like, well, how do we adapt this? And we've had so many versions of it. Like at one point, we did like a serious version, which just didn't work. And then we did like a B movie version, and we tried to go a bunch of different ideas. And then finally I realized, like, well, if we make him a kid, it could be silly. Like it could be like, it doesn't have to be super serious, and you know. And so then we came with this idea, like, well, what if we make, you know, and it just kind of worked, you know.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way. Is there a reference to the nuclear bomb, Fat Man and Little Boy, right?
Oh,
or the names of the 2 bombs dropped on Japan?
That's possible. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about it. That's a good connection there. Look at it. El Gordito. Primo also Hispanic. We're in a good crowd. With a name like Preem, I mean, how can you not? And then, of course, Quentin. Hello, Quentin. Saying hi to Don, who was up here. Hello, Don. Hello, everybody in the chat, by the way. Hello. Thank you for joining us. So anyway, so when you both decided, that's so crazy that you looked through a list of 400 characters and you both landed on this one crazy character.
Well, I think it had a lot to do with the creative team behind it too, because we were both like kind of Shazam fans.
Gotcha.
And it was just fascinating that like the people that created Shazam have this other character that nobody really knows about. You know,
then it is so random. It's like your favorite writer, and you find out they write something else, and you're like, "Ooh, what is it?" And then you're like, "This is weird." Like Kirkman has all sorts of weird stuff. All sorts of weird stuff out there. Like, isn't there a Battle Pope?
Yeah.
Weird stuff, guys. Weird stuff. But it's like, oh, it's Stephen King, and he wrote a book about lamps. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly right.
Just really weird stuff. So that's awesome. So, do you want to pitch this to the people? Tell them what the story's about.
So yeah, so it's an all ages sci-fi like superhero book. It's about this kid. He's like 13 years old, and he has the power of a flying saucer. Essentially, that means he could fly. He could, turn invisible. He could, has like laser power, stuff like that. And basically, he's got a friend who's a shape-shifting alien, and she's trying to help him. Like, she's trying to train him. And in his town, for some reason, like we're gonna get into it later on, but for some reason, there's a lot of aliens, a lot of just like random aliens hanging out in this desert town he lives in.
I was gonna say he lives in the desert, doesn't he?
Yeah. And he also lives on a military base, so it's basically the Air Force. And so they're doing a lot of shady things. Like, they're they have aliens imprisoned there that we don't, the public doesn't know about. And it's this whole, and he gets into this whole thing where like he's just a very like just trying to protect his family and his city. It's very classic superhero. He's got a secret identity. Like like he lives with his mom and she doesn't know what he's doing.
I love that. Something about Sloppy Joes. She was feeding him Sloppy Joes. One of the stories, I was like, "Yeah, you would feed a gordito Sloppy Joes." I was cracking up. That was a nice nod.
That was a weird little thing because it's funny because we were talking about it and me and Miguel, the co-writer, he was just like, "Well, kids eat Sloppy Joes, right?" And I'm like, "Do they? I mean, I guess."
Some kids.
Yeah, maybe.
My kids, no. My kids are so picky. My kids don't even like macaroni and cheese or grilled cheese. They are mutants.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'm like, all right, have a hot dog. But I love how you put this here too. And in fact, I might steal this idea. And where it says for the fans of, and it shows like Ben 10, Blue Beetle, Steven Universe, and Spider-Man. Like these are kind of the influences for this story. So if people are familiar with these titles, which a lot of people are, the story is for you. But I love how you gave us not only like words, because people don't always read the words. They just want to like scroll through all the things like I do super fast and make everybody nauseous. But this is cool. So totally gonna, hello, John from the other channel. Yeah, so that's a great idea. And of course, here's some art. I love this monkey. He's a baboon with a ray gun, people.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, how much of this story is you, and how much is your co-writer? Like, where do you go from?
It's pretty half and half. I think we spend a lot of time like plotting it, and a lot of time what happens is like I'll start the script and I'll write until I get stuck. And then I send it over to him, and then he'll add to it, and he'll like tweak what I did, and we'll just go back and forth until finally, And
that's a great way because so many writers get stuck, right?
I mean,
and it's like,
and then there's like there's like issues where like like I feel like sometimes we have different voices for the characters, and sometimes he'll write dialogue. I'm just like, I don't know, he sounds weird. Like we kind of mess with it, That's a little difficult, but we something that you have to overcome,
Do you write a certain character and then he writes other characters? Because I've heard that way as well, where Carissa writes like one of her characters and she is a co-writer that writes the other character. So I've heard that way.
That's interesting.
Darn it. Hold on. We didn't hear that last part.
No. We just kind of just do our own thing. Like we both thing and just kind of like we just kind of figure out where we both will write like everything.
That's good too. And it's good to know like all the characters inside and out because like for me when I get stuck and I'm just like, oh, I don't have anybody to back me up here. And then people are like, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And I'm like, but my character would never do that. Yeah. So it's hard. You know what I mean? Without a co-writer when you get stuck. So that's interesting. Do you guys have like an overall arc, like a plan, like issue 1, we do this, issue 2, issue 3? Is this ongoing or is there arcs?
There's going to be arcs. The first one, and it's about 5 issues.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually wrote the whole thing during the lockdown. So the whole thing written out. But the thing is, like now, it's funny because as we've been working on it, we'll get the art back for like the book, and we're like, oh, this is kind of cool. So we're like constantly rewriting stuff just because like it worked better.
I feel you too. I do that as well because my artist reads the script and he'll draw based off of what I write, but a lot of times there isn't enough room to put everything that I had on the paper because it's a movie script, right? So then I have to adjust what I'm saying or like mess with the bubbles so that way it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I want to cover the least amount of his art as possible. So I feel you where it's just like it's constantly being adapted depending on the art that's coming back. So
yeah, and it's cool too. We've gotten to the point, so we met our artist Valeria Antiveros. So actually, another thing I do is I used to have a small comic expo.
What?
Yeah. So
tell me more.
I grew up in this part of East Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very very Hispanic, and we never had like our own comic expo. And so when I finally paid off the store, I decided, let's do a small little comic expo in East LA.
Cool. Yeah.
And it blew up way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Like it was like we were getting what's it called? Like Robert Rodriguez was hitting us up. It was crazy, right?
What?
Yeah. And so we did this for about 3 years, and then COVID hit, so we had to stop doing it. But the cool thing about this expo was that I met our artists through that show.
That's cool.
Yeah, she came into the store to apply for the show, and she showed me her art, and I'm like, this is really cool. And we got to talking, and we, yeah. And so,
Who says you're a gangster?
Mm-hmm. But it was cool. And then we in 2019 we did the first issue.
2019.
But it was real rush where like we literally printed like 2 days before the
Oh my
show.
gosh.
And so we had to cut some stuff out, and like just so we can make it in time.
Yeah.
And so in the last campaign last year, we did an extended version. So we added back some pages, and we got to re-letter it. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I mean, we did. I'm just doing the same thing. It's like when we're at the point where when we finish 4, we'll do our trade paperback. Are you planning on doing that as well?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, after 5, that's the plan.
Yeah. So we have 12 issues. So it would be the 4, 4, and 4 for 3 trade
nice.
and then an omnibus. Maybe, I don't know. We're talking long time from now, right? Sometime in the future when I can get around to that, right? 12 years from now. But it's like, it's just amazing to look at the progression from issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and you're like, ooh, I should probably go touch up issue 1. Yep. It's going to need some love.
Yeah. I don't know if you had noticed, but like in issue 1, you can kind of tell the pages we added because the art's a little bit different. A little more polished.
Right. I'm like, I think the colors are slightly different. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fine. It works in the story, and that's all that matters. And there was a nice twist at the end, by the way. I knew something was up with that because, as a fellow writer, I'm just like, something ain't right here, right? But then when I got to the end, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that is funny. That was actually supposed to be the twist at the end of issue 1, but we ran out of time.
So okay. Yeah, it was in 2, right?
Yeah, it was in issue 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I guess because I've been sitting with it for so long that when the issue came out, especially people at the store would come in and be like, "Where's the third one? Like, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger like that." Right?
I love that though. That means that you're doing your job. When you leave people hanging and they're like, "When is the next one coming out, Peter? I need it." And it's just like, "Okay, it's coming." That's the best feeling in the world, when people are like, I need more. That's where I was too. We had a colorist switch out in the middle of production on last issue, so it took a little longer. So people were like, really like, okay, Laurie, where the heck is your? And I'm like, dude, it's coming. I promise. Like, I had to pivot and turn and do something else, but it's coming. And now that it's out, people are chilling out.
Nice.
Finally. Right. Do you have a twist ending in this new one?
Kind of.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a cliffhanger. I don't know if it's a big twist, but
okay. Well, those are acceptable as well.
Yeah.
You're like me then. It's just like I need to have like a big twist or a cliffhanger at the end, so that way people need to come back for the next
bring
one.
them back, right? You gotta bring them back.
And there's definitely some. I want to bring this up. Let me show people So we've already been looking at this. So they just launched a few days ago. This isn't, so we're already at $609 with 13 backers, which is a great start. And I kind of showed this, but you have a video? No video. All right.
Yeah,
you need a video.
I know. I got to figure out how to do stuff like that.
I know. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, I have video. When do I have time to do that? Sorry. Yeah. That's why I was like, I'm working on my video this week because it has to be done.
Yeah.
But look, people, here's the monkey with the ray gun.
And it's funny because we were working on this book. We had no idea where it was going to go. And I remember like telling Miguel, I want it to end with a monkey with a ray gun. That was my only.
He's like, okay.
It sounds like a cool like B movie title,
Yeah. Monkey with a ray gun.
Yeah.
Coming to the theater near you.
Actually, right?
Right? So I love this too. I need to do this too, where it's like you have some reviews spliced in on the page as well, where it's like every issue of Gordo is incredibly fun. Readers of all ages will enjoy being along for the exciting adventure with Gordo, Cece, and Otto as they try to save the world and be home in time for Sloppy Joe's. Amazing. And that was Barbara Dillon, Fanbase Press, editor-in-chief. Very cool. And it was an incredibly fun read for all ages. And I got to tell you, I think there's only one other comic I can think of off the top of my head that I would let my kids read.
Oh,
I have two girls. They're 6 and 9. And I have a bunch of Sam Vera's There's an Alien in My Toilet. And they love it. But again, they're like, Mom, can we read your comic? And I'm like, absolutely.
No.
So I love what you do because there's so many layers to it. Like someone like myself can read it and it's a fun time and you get the innuendo and you get the jokes, you know what I mean, that are there for adults. But it's something that all ages can really enjoy. And it has those relationships, friend relationships, mentor relationships, parental relationships that everybody can identify with. So really cool. I love your mad scientist too. He's interesting.
Oh, you're good. You're gonna like this stuff. It gets pretty wild.
Does it?
Yeah.
Cream says it sounds like a Robert Rodriguez movie titled Change-O, Monkey with a Ray Gun.
Yeah.
It does. Now all we need is Robert Rodriguez to see this and write you a theme song for free. That would be great. He does stuff like that. I mean, he does that kind of stuff for Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if he would do that for us, but that would, hey, I'll just throw that out in the universe. That would be great.
There you go.
I love this. The fact that Gordo's colors are this bright green, like this, almost that digital, like old Apple DOS color, and that the monkey is red. It's just like those two contrast colors, opposite sides on the color wheel. But he's awesome. Look, for people that didn't realize, he has a flying saucer on his forehead.
Yeah.
There it is.
We've been trying to get those masks made. I actually
Peter.
After we put out issue 1, I commissioned a friend of mine. She made a couple masks for me and the creative team. But we've been trying to get them made for like mass production.
Where go get it? Is it here at your store?
Hey, dude, you know what? Give me a second.
I need to see it. I will be patient. I would really like to see this. Look at this one. Gordo, we gotta stop these ghouls and their plans or it's game over for Earth. I don't know, Muerto. This all looks like a bad movie to me. His name is Muerto. I love it. This is my Hispanic side very much enjoying this. My mom's maiden name is Reyes. So my family's from Mexico City. So it's like my dad is Polish, so I had a maiden name of Shafransky, and then I married an Italian family, so now I'm Calcaterra. But I do have Hispanic roots from Mexico. It's like anything that's Day of the Dead or Muerto, I'm just like, yay, tapping into that part of me. All right, hold on. Let me do. Whoops. Push all the buttons. Ready? Let me see it.
There he is.
Whoa! Put it on.
Oh no!
She made that?
Yeah, a friend of mine made this for us. Like, yeah, we have a.
Put it back, man. Wow.
Yeah.
What's it made out of?
It's some kind of, I don't know. It's like a real shiny cloth.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is it polyester? Maybe. I don't know. It looks fabulous, dude. And if you're not cosplaying as your own character at a con, you are missing out.
And also, so was it 2 years ago? A friend of mine sent this to me as a Christmas present. Let me just see him.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. They made that?
Mm-hmm. Someone sent me it. Yeah. It's really cool. Like
Wow.
the green, it goes in the dark.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And
It's really high quality too. Like I've crocheted things and it looks like, it looks janky, but that looks professional. Yeah, dude, you need to throw those up on your campaign.
yeah, that's good at some point.
I know they're like super expensive, but if people want them, they can buy them. I mean, Preem all of a sudden now wants a luchador mask. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want one too.
There you go.
Yeah. You're right. You know what? I saw someone else do this where they just did the mask as a paper or a cardboard cutout with like the eyes were cut out and the mouth was cut out. Yeah. You could put it on like a stick so you could put it in front of your face. I thought that was cool.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
And people could color their own or, stuff like that. But that was just a cool idea. I was like, that's smart. I was laughing at this cover. This is so like,
So that's my friend Javier Hernandez. He does this comic called Muerto. It's celebrating its 25th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They actually made a movie a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah, with Wilmer Valderrama. And so yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. He comes to the store regularly, and I asked him about doing a variant cover for issue 3, and we were like, you know what, let's just go all into this whole like Elmer 25th anniversary. And so I asked him to cover, and like, yeah, he went into this cool like Plan 9 from outer space homage cover.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just on a show not too long ago where we talked about like the progression, the history of horror comic books.
Yeah.
And this is like very universal comics like Tales of the Crypt, where they had like the faces on the front. I'm like, oh, this is so classic. It's just nice. I love it. And the fact that the guy's name is Muerto and he's dressed up as a mariachi with Day of the Dead, I was just like, I love him. Sorry, I just met you, but I love you.
He actually has an Indiegogo going on right now.
Does he really?
Yeah,
we will throw that up in there as well. At some point, we will find the link and we'll toss it in the chat so people can find him. I know Indiegogo, it's like sometimes if you don't have the link, you can't find it or it's more difficult.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure we get his link in there as well. Always want to support.
But it was cool because because he did that cover, it inspired me to like. I asked him if it was cool if I could write a short story based on.
Oh.
And so it's going to be hopefully in the back of issue 3.
Oh, so you guys are going to have like a crossover moment?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So he's the artist and you're the writer and you get to write his character with your character and he does the art?
No. Well, our book artist is going to do the art on it. But yeah, he
okay.
Do it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still really cool, man. That's so cool. I know. I love crossovers and I have friends in indie where I'm like, at some point we need to make this happen. Right.
You know what?
Much fun.
I always talk to people about that. I'm like, I'm surprised that's not a bigger thing amongst like independent creators, because I feel like it's a good promotion and it's fun.
Yeah.
You get to tell stories that you don't normally get to tell, and and then you're interacting with characters. I don't know. I think that's really fun.
My lady friend Carissa Grant, her characters and my main character would not get along, so we just thought it would be funny to throw them together and see the chaos that happens. I thought that'd be great.
Cool. There you go.
Because it's like she loves her. I love my characters so much, and you put them together, and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what they thrive on anyway. So what's this? We have 25 anniversary of El Muerto, and there's a limited edition pencils and ink variant. Ooh.
Yeah. And all those are gonna
Signed
be,
and numbered.
yeah.
How many?
We're only gonna print as many as sell.
Okay, so whatever the campaign does is that's it.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the original art, the original cover art up on the campaign too.
What? That better be at the bottom, like for
Yeah,
$1,000. I'm just saying. Yeah, here it is at the bottom. That's where I thought. I was like, it's gotta be at the bottom.
yeah.
$400. That makes sense. And there is one, people. You can add on stuff, which is cool, but dude, hop on that.
Yeah.
These cool t-shirts. Peter sent these to me. I was like, whoa, I like it. It's really nice.
Yeah,
Who did
that was
these? Oh,
our
Valeria.
artist. Yeah, she
Yeah.
did that, and that came out really cool. Like we've been talking about doing
Yeah.
this forever. She actually made me this. I don't know if you can tell. Like
Wait. And
there's
big
a
and
there we go.
oh yeah, cool. It is
That's
the little symbol.
there
Gordo.
we-
I know it's like wrong way. Always
Yeah.
the wrong.
yeah.
It looks cool, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. I have hats on my campaign for the first time too. So I
Oh,
made
nice.
this one myself.
Mhm.
And it's okay. It's okay. It has the POTPR on it, but Preem is actually going to help me do them better. So I
Oh,
feel you.
cool.
But it's like it's so cool when it's like you get to wear your own merch. It's a
Yeah,
good
right.
feeling, right? And people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, I want that." And you're like, "Really?" Oh,
Yeah, we
look at
just
me.
we did a thing for pre-sale for shirts for the store.
Yeah.
Which I'm building a bunch of stuff. It's just like all the stuff I do, like because if
People are like, "What else is here?" No, no,
yeah,
no. You must buy Gordo. That's all
right.
there is.
'Cause it's something cool, and then you like it's basically free advertising, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not want this? No?
Mhm.
Okay. Limited colors and sketch cover. Ooh. Remarks. Oh, okay. With remarks by Valeria available. That's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah,
This is
those
beautiful.
those
CC
really
is such a cute alien.
yeah. Yeah, she's a big fan favorite. Like a lot of people like in the last campaign, they kept on telling us how much they liked her. And we're like, all right. Well, there's more stuff coming. There's more stuff coming. We promise.
Right. I know it's weird. Sometimes fans will latch onto sometimes an obscure character, like the
Yeah.
monkey. I'm sure there's people out there who are like, give us more monkey.
Yeah.
You're like, well, okay, like if
Yeah.
that's what you want, stickers, why not?
Yeah.
But they love the characters that we give them. So, and I can see why CC is such a great character. She's just very personable as well in the story. Sticker reward. I want to believe in Gordo.
Yeah.
See, and I knew there was a monkey sticker in there somewhere. I
There
wasn't
he is.
lying.
Yeah.
So,
So
as a thank you for believing in the project, everyone who orders physical rewards will receive stickers, which will be unlocked throughout the campaign. That's cool. Tell us
yeah.
about the stickers.
Yeah. So we started. They're all by a couple different artists, friends of mine, and like Valeria did the last one. And so basically, what we're doing is like last time around, we did a lot of stickers the last time, and people got them, but they weren't really a big draw, but they enjoyed them. So we thought like, well, you know what? Let's just give them to them. Let's figure out a way just to
Yeah.
And so basically, that's what we did. We had the different tiers of like either pledges or our totals. And so like the stickers unlock. So once we do the whole once the project's fully funded, everybody gets like those 4 stickers.
That's cool. Yeah, and I love it. It's like either or, because I usually do one or the other, but this one is like you get the monkey if we have 30 backers or pledge, $1,000. So there's 2 ways to unlock these, and that's really cool. And that speaks to wonders because it's like I really want you guys to have these. I'm gonna give you like 6 different ways that you can unlock these because I really want you to have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is cool,
Man.
and then we had some cool designs out of it. So like like I'm a big fan. Like I'm not a huge fan of variant covers. Like I like
Mhm.
I like seeing different artists draw stuff they don't normally draw. And I think that
Right.
was another thing with the stickers where like, we let them do whatever they wanted. And we just asked like, oh, these are the characters. And we'll get to see different versions, which is really cool,
Right. I think that's one of my joys as well, where it's like I like seeing them draw my character.
Yeah.
Because it's just a different perspective, or like how someone sees my world. And a lot of times it's just it's so cool to see how someone else interprets Gordo, you know what I mean? Like, or Cece. Look at Cece here. She's so cute. It almost reminds me of the Jetsons. That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
no,
Judy Jetson. Or like this CC is awesome too, man. Look at them all.
yeah,
That's great.
That was from our last campaign, and we still had some that we figured, we'll throw it in there too, you know.
Yeah.
Like that logo sticker is cool because it glows in the dark.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I like glow in the dark stuff. Gosh. Who drew your biopics? These are so cute.
Oh, Belaya did those too, yeah.
Did she? She's so talented. Look. That's awesome.
And it's funny because when she did those, she kept on saying like, oh, these are all like shirts she wants to make at some point.
That's fun. Yeah, like the little Gordo here. They're sticking out of a pocket and a polo. That would be really cute.
And it's funny.
And what's hers?
The shirt she's wearing is kind of the design that we're doing right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I like it. That was her preconception of the t-shirt up here, right? She was like, I like it so much. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Amazing. And there we are. This is a really great page.
Thank you.
I'm going to go through some of the reward levels and do some pre-shopping, people. Let's see. You got your digitals for 5. That's perfect. So digital issue number 3, $5. Get your digital copy. If you are an international backer and you don't want to pay $600 to have Peter ship you something, there you go. Issue 3 physical main cover is $10. Wow. Nice. This comes with a digital?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's too cheap, Peter. Just saying. Digital catch-up tier, super important. Issues 1 through 3. If you're new, that's a great deal, man. $15 will get you all caught up on the story. Issue number 3, physical variant. Ooh, the variant cover, $15. All right. Includes the digital. Oh, the collector tier, A and B. You gotta have it.
Gotta have that, right?
Gotta have both. I mean, I am such a terrible decider when it comes to variant covers. Unless there's one that really speaks to me where I'm like, that one. Most of the time I'm like, I don't know, man. I'll just get them all. Especially my own. I'm just like, how many different covers did I print? Oh, yeah, this. I have a problem. I just... Physical catch-up main covers. That's cool. Yeah. That's what I do as well. Catch-up tiers, it's like you got to get main covers, people. Variants are only for so long, and then they go bye-bye.
Exactly.
$30. So it's buy 2, get 1 free?
Kinda, yeah.
Pretty much. These are cool. I like the spotlight. T-shirt, $30. You're not making any money on that, dude. I know. I put t-shirts on my campaign. They're expensive.
Yeah, it could be.
This is cool too. $35? Peter. You guys, I'm making a stink because you don't realize what a deal this is. From someone who builds Kickstarters and looks at adding merchandise, this is super cheap. This is super cheap for the backers. It really is. It's a t-shirt and a comic, and there's like, I can't believe it's that price. Amazing prices on this campaign. Physical catch-up tier with variants. That's cool.
Yeah.
A and B plus Kickstarter exclusive blank cover. Sketch cover. I love sketch covers.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun, right?
Yeah. Take it to your favorite artist and let them draw Gordo.
Exactly.
Right? Or have him draw the monkey with the ray gun.
There you
That's
go.
what people want. That's me. I want the monkey with the ray gun. Covers B and t-shirt. So that's cool. So you get the variant of issue number 3 plus a t-shirt. Got 2 backers there. They're not stupid. They're smart. El Muerto 25th anniversary limited edition pencils and ink variant. There it is, $50. Well worth the money. That's so cool. Signed and numbered. That's it. That's it, people. Those can be super exclusive, man.
Yeah.
Like if 3 people back that, you get 1 of 3.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
For $50. Jump on that retail tier. Super smart. That's a great question. I would love to ask you when we're done. I'll save that. I'll put it in the brain for later. Of course. What comes with this? So physical issue, and the 25th edition. Okay. I should do this too. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Of course you will, Quentin, because you're never mind. I'll stop there. I love you, Quentin. I love this too, where it's like you can pay to have this remarked by Valeria, which is great.
Yeah. Those were pretty popular the last time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Retail tier 2. Sketch cover. This is a color sketch cover? Ooh. So Valeria will not only sketch, but she'll color the cover?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I think she'll do artist, like she gets really into sketching. So.
Yeah. I was like, I'm surprised this isn't limited. See, that's always my fear. My artist, he will draw people in and make them look fabulous, but at the same time, I'm like, there's like 12 people that want to be drawn in. He's like, Laurie, people really want to be drawn in, Marco. You know, like he's just like, I okay, you know, we'll make them happy, but still, it's like 12 people. I'm like, yeah, well, you've heard that joke before, Quinn. I didn't even have to say it out loud. That's right. I know.
So
that's funny.
When you do stuff like that, is it like zombie versions, or is it like regular people?
Well, both. We a lot of times if we have, it just depends on the issue we're on. Like issue number 3 was more about how society collapsed, so that people were living, but we also had zombies, so people were zombified.
Yeah.
A lot of times we like squish people. Like I had someone drawn in that got mauled by our giant undead bear.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of fun. It's like most of the time we squish people. That's kind of our running gag.
Yeah.
And we actually had 1 person survive this time.
Oh, there you go.
Just 1. Otherwise, we think it's great to squish people in interesting ways, and they get a kick out of it. So
that's cool.
Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. The whole shebang. Do it, people. Oh my Lord. This is okay. What's all in this? Because it says, let me see this. Hold on. I click the button. Oh, what did it do? Oh yeah, this is new. Have you seen? Oh,
It's confusing.
You're like, everything's new to me, dude.
Yeah.
This is crazy what they do now, because it shows you all the different rewards on the left. So you can click around in here. And then it lists everything that's included. And then it shows you all the available add-ons. Kickstarter did not have this previously. I think less than a year ago, this was not here. So this is new. But I love this because it's like when you list like 12 items on your Kickstarter, they don't all fit on that screen. So here it's like, okay, so we get physical, we get a cover. We get the Javier Hernandez cover. We get digital copy. We get the blank variant. You get the sketch cover, color, the t-shirt, and the 25th edition limited edition cover. Wow. And you didn't limit these. Are you crazy? Peter, we'll talk after the show.
No problem.
I'm teasing. Yeah, and then I love this too. It lists all the add-ons. So with did you have fun making all those graphics, or did you want to pull your hair out?
It was a headache, man, because I figured it out quickly, but then sometimes I'll be doing it and it just wouldn't load for some reason.
Yes.
Restart everything. It was like, it was a headache.
It can be, yeah. And I mean, like, and for me, I'm like, all right, variant artists, I need all your covers because I'm trying to build graphics. Like, Marco, where's your cover? Marco's
Yeah.
like, I'll get it too. And I'm like, when? I feel
No,
bad. I was like, don't get it to me the day before the Kickstarter goes live. I'm gonna kill you.
yeah, I
Right? Because
was.
look at all these graphics, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's cool though because you can always do like secret add-ons. So you don't talk about them on the main page, but if people go look, like there's some
Yeah,
special things in there.
good idea.
Um,
Good idea.
yeah,
Yeah, and
this
I
is
was
cool. Look at all this, man.
up until like an hour before it launched.
You what?
I was working on this.
Oh, that's 100% normal, dude.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah, and this, I need a picture, blah blah, and I'm adding things and I'm changing it around and I'm respelling. Like, will you look at this and make sure I spelled this right? Okay, and then they're like, okay, are you going live now? I'm like, okay, push the button. So that's just kind of how it works. In fact, let me go back. This is what I was talking about. Let me do this for a second. Is this your? No, this is your second campaign. Yes.
Mhm.
I have made a video that kind of shows people what it's like to run a Kickstarter. Let me know if you feel this way.
Hold on. I think I'm bleeding. Am I bleeding? Ah! 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 Nose and lips! Okay, ow. Ah! No, can I... Ow! 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 Wait! Ow! 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 Please, Mr. Oh!
Yep, that's about accurate.
Everything flies at you all at the same time, trying to balance all the shows, all the advertising, the social media. And then there's plateau, there's cancellation. Your family is busy, and then it's like scammer, Fiverr, scammer.
I feel like this time around I've gotten way more emails from like just random people. Like, it's ridiculous.
Hello, owner of campaign. I have reviewed your page and I would like to lend you my expertise on how to guarantee thousands of more dollars to your campaign.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah. But like,
That just cracks me up.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, we got way more. Like, I feel like we got more like this week than we did the last campaign.
I don't know, man. They just come out of the woodwork, and I think it's much more prevalent. It just continues to be more. Like, I'm in pre-launch status, and I'm getting them now, and I'm like, I didn't used to get them at pre-launch.
Wow.
Yes, Pops.
Yeah. Hi. I just gotta say it. Look, ain't none of them trying to build a network for y'all to promote all your stuff on. Ain't none of them doing anything. If you want to back that kind of something, back our Roku platform.
I have to tell you, Peter, I say this to all of our guests. His name is Pops because he pops in and then he pops back out.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is an awesome campaign, people. We're going to drop that link in there again. Hold on momentito. Let me copy this link. I love the short links. My giant, stupid name of my comic.
And they put your name, they put all that information. It's like,
It's not even what I copied.
Yeah.
Do it again. Copy. Thank you. Paste. There we go. Click this one, people. This one. This one. And I was gonna play a video and I don't know where it is. I'm really crappy with these buttons today, man. Nope. Still can't find it. Here it is. Hey, I love that song. Now is the time. Go check this out and back this project. Support indie, support Peter, all of that good stuff. So here's the question I was going to ask you earlier. As a LCS owner, when someone like myself creates a retail tier, what do you look for in that tier?
I mean, it depends. Like I most of the time it's just kind of like depending on the cost and like how many we're getting and all that stuff. Sometimes I think people like go a little nuts. Like I've gotten emails. I get constant emails from people doing like crowdfunding campaigns, trying to
Yeah.
get into the store. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then they're like, oh, you can get 50 copies. I'm like,
50.
yeah,
How
I'm
about
like,
5? Let's start
yeah,
with 5.
exactly, right. And I think it's just and I don't even think it's like it's not even like a discounted thing. Like I've paid for stuff that like basically what we would sell it for.
Yeah.
Just because I like having independent stuff in the store. Like I like the option of it, 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like over the last couple of years, like Image isn't really independent anymore. Like yeah, they're creator owned, but it's still like the third biggest comic studio, right?
Right. I agree with you, man. They're not quite as bad as Marvel and DC, but
Yeah,
they're up there
yeah.
with how they handle things. It's different.
Yeah,
Um
I love independent stuff. Like I've been like since the pandemic, we've been ordering a lot more Boom, a lot more Scout, stuff like that. Like there's a lot of cool stuff out there. Like if you go past the mainstream, like that,
right.
and no, like I'm not talking shit about the mainstream. Like I love mainstream comics,
Oh, it's
but like
just different.
yeah, there's a lot more different stuff out there.
And I was on Culture Junkies,
Hmm.
and we were talking about character development,
Hmm.
and the debate was who had better character development, Marvel or DC.
Yeah,
And I was like, neither.
yeah,
Like if you want character development, you have to go to indie. You have to. Even if
no,
you just look at Image. As
hmm,
soon as it's one writer and it's not a property that's being passed down and rebooted and passed down and rebooted, a new writer and new, it's hard to have character development when it's a character that's been around. It's a legacy character.
yeah. Especially they've been around for like 60, 80 years or whatever.
Right.
Like yeah. I'm a big Superman fan, and
Mhm.
I collect it regardless whoever's working on it. But it's very I feel like it's very rare when you get like a writer that like has a new take on the character that actually works.
Yeah.
'Cause again, like the character's been around for so long, and like you feel like every story that could be told has been told.
Right. Or they really gotta break the rules, and that pisses people off
Yeah,
too. So it's a fine line with
yeah.
those legacy characters, I feel
That's a big
like.
that's a big thing with me as Superman. With it's always like I hate when writers come in. They're like, "Oh, we took his powers away," or "We made him a bad guy." Like it seems
Right.
boring.
Isn't that the same old trope that we get with most that they've been around for a long time? It's like they become the villain
Yeah.
or they lose their powers and they have to gain them back.
Hmm.
They lose their memory.
Yeah.
Um, they get rebooted in time, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
see this a lot.
Yeah.
Movies,
Hmm.
comics, it's the same. It's the same,
Yeah.
right?
Which is crazy because I feel like now it's so weird that like the concept of a multiverse is so like common, or like 10 years
Yes.
no one knew what that was.
Right. It's like the Flash was its own thing. Spider-Man
Yeah.
was its own thing. And now it's like we get everybody has a multiverse. There's the multiverse of madness. There's um the cartoon they did on Marvel. It's what's that one?
The cartoon.
What If?
Oh
There
yeah,
was
yeah.
What If that
Mm-hmm.
it was like it was really cool but then they brought them all together. I'm like, okay, we're
Yeah.
multiversing this. I mean, even that other movie, the independent movie that came out was really good, but it was like everything all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did I say that right?
Mhm.
Michelle Yeoh is one of my favorites. She's
Oh
fantastic actress, martial artist. I love everything she's in. Fantastic movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is the
yeah.
best in that movie. Um, I would if I were to play anybody, I would be Jamie Lee Curtis's character because she just got to do so many different
Yeah.
things. And if you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen the Hot Dog Fingers, oh my god, go watch
Yeah.
that movie. So funny. But again, here we are in a multiverse, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
it's a
it's
thing now.
thing now. Like it's like it's crazy. That was something that was like a sci-fi fan or a comic book fan that they knew what that was, but
Right.
now it's very common
Mainstream.
mainstream. Which I mean, it's not bad. I just think it's weird. It's a weird concept. Like me and my friends always talk about how like when I was in high school, like being into comics wasn't cool
Right.
And now it's like super cool. Like, you know?
Right. That's what I was gonna say too. It's like things that were fringe before where it's like, oh, you read comic books. And like even like one of my previous guests was like, the way that we think about childish quote unquote things being acceptable as an adult has changed. Where and he wrote a book called Dad Jokes when he's like, back in the day, as a man, you weren't allowed to be funny. You had to be the stoic, wise, base of your family. You weren't allowed to laugh and joke around. So things change. And it's like now you don't have to carry your comic books out in a brown paper bag. You can just carry them around, dude. Go to a Comic-Con. Comic-Cons used to be weird. It was like weird anime nerds with no deodorant. Now the deodorant thing is still the same. But it's a lot cooler. Like they're so much bigger. They're much more prevalent. You can go have a great time.
I used to go to San Diego like every year since junior high school.
Yeah.
And I remember the first couple ones. You could just walk up to the door like the day of and buy tickets.
Now, not anymore.
Now that sells out like a year in advance. Like it's nuts.
You can't get a table, or you're on the wait list, or it's super expensive. There's no lodging. There's no hotels. There's no Airbnbs. Like I'm gonna be sleeping at Christie Shinn's house. Yeah. When I go to Christie, I'm here for the Comic-Con. Oh, it's funny, but yeah, how it's just crazy how things change. I don't know, where does it go from here? That's my question.
Yeah, that's the scary. I don't know, but I mean, like, because I think a lot of people ask me, like, especially with the store, they're like, oh, do those Marvel movies help? And I feel like it doesn't because people do get excited after watching a movie and then they'll come in. But then Marvel doesn't do a good job at that because then, like, the book looks nothing like the movie they just saw. And I feel like, so people are just like, like, oh, they can't, I'm real excited about this, but the book doesn't really translate to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, do better.
Yeah.
Because I think it would help. But again, I don't run a store, so I don't know. But it's like Blue Beetle. How many people are familiar with Blue Beetle? Not very many. I'm not. You know what I mean? But like after watching a movie, I would be more inclined to go read Blue Beetle comics to find out what's the backstory, what's this, what's that. That's what I did when Infinity Wars was out. You know what I mean? I was just like, there's Endgame. I went and picked up a copy of the Infinity Wars from Marvel, and it's way different. It's so different. It took me a few times to read it to even figure out what the heck was going on because it was so different.
Yeah. I mean, and I get that too, because there's stuff that works in comics that doesn't work in movies, vice versa. Like, I get that, but I think it's just like, especially like the DC stuff. Like, I'm a huge DC fan, like in the comic book, and it bugs me how dark those movies are because it's like the comics aren't that dark,
Right.
At some point, like if you change it too much, it's like, why even do it? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point?
Right. Well, I've gone on many a rant about Warner Brothers and DC movies and how I think there's too many cooks in the kitchen that they just mess them up. I'm with you where it's like DC Comics, Marvel movies. That's kind of like my happy place is I'll watch all the Marvel movies and I think they can do some amazing things like Captain America Winter Soldier was one of the best action Marvel comic book anything movie. And the Russo brothers are really good at what they do. However, you go watch some of these don't even get me started on the Snyder cut and the crap that went on. But you see what I mean? Like where they keep changing things. Like even the Flash movie. I thought it was decent. Was it amazing?
Yeah.
But they took so long to bring it out. They kept changing. They kept losing directors. They kept losing talent. The whole fallout with Ezra and how they handled all of that drama, I just think was really poorly done. And it hurts them.
Yeah, all big time. Like it's crazy to think that a studio that has all the DC characters and their biggest movie is Barbie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my gosh,
which was good, but you know what I mean? Like Barbie's doing the numbers that like you would think like a Superman or a Batman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think has a Superman movie since Christopher Reeves really performed. I thought Man of Steel was. I liked Man of Steel. There's a lot of people who really hate that movie, but I liked it. I thought what they did was at the end was out of character again, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
Well, I mean,
terrible.
it's funny. Like I said, I'm a big Superman fan, and like I remember seeing that movie, and that bugged me. Like the ending bugged me.
Yeah.
But you know what also bugged me was there's that scene where he's working at the bar, and that guy's being a jerk to that woman, and so
Yeah.
he ends up wrecking his truck, and I'm
He's
like,
all messed up.
and I'm like, Superman doesn't take revenge. Like, come on. Like, I'm like,
No. No.
like,
Nope.
that like bugged me. I was like, oh, I guess.
But again, it's like, are they playing to the masses?
Yeah.
Or are they playing to the comic book people? I have a big problem with Resident Evil. Huge problem with that property where it's like the anime and the cartoons, the video games are so good, and they have yet to do a live action that's even worthwhile. And it's like at some point when you mess with the story or the canon so much, people are not going to watch.
Yeah, because it's not what they signed up for, you know.
Right. It's like, why can't you do one that makes fans happy? Just do one. One?
Yeah.
No? All right. CGI giant caterpillars. Go for it.
Yeah, you are.
I was like, oh, we're going. This is the first day. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's where we're going. But bring it back to comic books, like Batman comic books are life-changing, like The Bat Who Laughs and like The Killing Joke and such amazing work. You know, even seeing what, you know, the version of Batman, Thomas Wayne in Flashpoint as Batman is just so crazy. Any of the dark Justice League, like the cartoons on HBO, just amazing work. So I feel like it's such hit and miss with DC. That's where their problem is.
Yeah, they have good animated stuff. I think I saw this one podcast where this guy was saying like, you know, like you know how to make a good Batman movie? Just take the animated series stuff and make that live action.
I don't know what it is with, I don't know if it's the studio or somebody where it's like, we have to change it. It has to be different. You know what I mean? But it's like, you really don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to change much. People love it when it's as close as possible, just live action. Great example of that is Last of Us. The show was amazing. It was right in the beginning, it was almost shot for shot of the opening of that game. Did they add stuff? Sure, they fleshed out characters, but did they change main characters? No, they did not. So that's what people want. Give them what they want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Let's see what Man of Steel wasn't bad at all until the end, right? That's what we were just saying. But the scene where he literally lets Pa Kent die, like he was fast enough to save him and just not be seen, like that was possible. He just let him die.
And it's funny because I think the more I thought about that scene, it bugged me more because like towards the end, basically everyone in Smallville knows he's Superman, right? Because they recognize him and they're like, what was the point of that?
What was the point of that?
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I will try not to rant. DC, just let the animated series writers handle the movies. They would be in good shape. See, we agree. We 100% agree, Preem. We stop radically altering these characters.
Yeah, like you were talking about. Like Blue Beetle was like a fun movie. Like it got a little dark, but it was fun. And I think that, but then you have people complain like, oh, they're just making a Marvel movie. And I'm like, okay, like I don't see the.
They're trying to make a successful movie. Is what they're trying to do. They're trying to break their, their losing streak of having flops.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that? Try something new until it works. Like, and explain to me why the TV show on HBO, the blank.
Which one?
John Cena.
Oh,
I'm losing my mind. The what?
The Peacemaker.
The Peacemaker. Totally successful. Was crazy. Why can't we get that in it? Like, what's the?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed that show. I know a lot of people. It was weird because I think it was too close to the Snyder era or whatever. That a lot of people complain, oh, it's goofy, it's silly. I'm like, yeah, but that's fun. Like that's like like it was ultra.
Thank you,
fun.
Preem.
Like,
but I think it's James Gunn.
yeah.
Because if you watch like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's that kind of level of silly and goofing around and like weird humor. John Cena having a fight in his underwear was hilarious. And he got his ass kicked, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Just such a weird plot and like weird things, and it just kept you on your feet the whole time. It was super enjoyable.
Yeah.
So again, it's like it's so hit or miss. I don't know.
I mean, I really
So-
like that James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. I know a lot of people didn't, and I don't know why.
I enjoyed it. I thought the villain needed some work. Like I don't think she was quite fleshed out. Like her character is pretty interesting, isn't she? She's like a witch trapped in a person's body and that she can come out sometimes, but I'm not too familiar with the history of that character, but I feel like there could have been more instead of like, we're just going to eat the universe.
Yeah. That's always the joke, right? Like your third act is a big laser beam in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, here we go. Get to work. Get to work, superheroes. But that's kind of like Marvel too. Like Marvel writes these really thoughtful, empathetic villains until the third act, and then they're just like, and now they hate everybody and they're gonna kill babies. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They don't want you to feel bad for the bad guys too much.
Yeah.
Well, like, oh, we burnt down this building with people in it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I think is it's like the bad part of a cinematic universe is like you have these big events, and then you're like, wait, where's so and so? Like, why isn't so and so there? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. They try to like put him like the Flash movie did that, right? Because they were like, when Zod was here, oh, I had just gotten my powers, and they showed where he was.
Yeah.
But it's like, where's everybody else? Where's Wonder Woman? The world is going to explode, and Wonder Woman isn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't make sense.
Right. I think DC movie fans are caught up in wanting these dark, gritty, emotional, flawed, tragic heroes. They forget that comics are supposed to have fun too.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of new movies coming out. What about comics? You are probably much more in the know about new comics, or what's exciting comic book wise that you can see coming down the pipeline.
Marvel has this thing called Gods. Gods and Hickman. I have no idea what it's about. Like they've been releasing these like really obscure teasers for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks interesting. Like I think the tagline is something like, "Oh, they represent the old gods." These characters, and it's a strange event. Like it looks really cool.
Isn't there a Neil Gaiman series about like the old gods and new gods or American gods?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it like that?
I have no idea. They've only shown up one book, and like they were like, and it was just a big teaser. So I don't know. It looks really interesting. Like it looks like it's going to be a big, pretty cool. And Jonathan Hickman.
I love Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah, he's a great world builder. So like that should be interesting.
Is it down here? Yeah. This is my favorite right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Huge influence. Love this book. And of course I got the hardcover because it's worth every penny. But yeah, I mean, I feel you. Like his world building is amazing. And like in the back of this book, so again, there's script back here, and I was like, I'm taking notes. I'm watching this. And then they have he had maps. He has stuff like in black and white, but like his whole history of the continent. You've read this? Are you familiar with East of West?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know which one this is. Where am I? But like how his timelines work. Like they have amazing stuff in here.
Yeah, you know, like Jonathan Hickman, he's a trained graphic designer. That's why all his books look like that. Yeah.
I was like, that explains this.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the map because he has like the map of how things are broken down. And like, yeah, like he has a little blurb about like each nation. So like here's the nation of Texas, which is his own thing in his world. And like the Confederacy, the Union, and then he has like a map that shows everything. Don't show that page. That's a spoiler. But that's just awesome. Like I hashtag life goals, right?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Someday Gordo needs a timeline.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was a big growing up. I loved Jeff Smith's Bone.
Ooh.
And it was really good. It's funny because I think the way he would describe it is like it's Looney Tunes meets like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I own so many different versions of that book, and there was like this limited one, and the whole story takes place in this place called the Valley, and the limited edition book had a map of the Valley.
That's so cool.
That freaking blew my mind. You know? Like,
yeah. The Eternals.
Oh yeah, that was a gaming book he did at Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hickman did Eternals?
No, gaming.
Oh, gaming. Okay, thank you. Yeah, gaming. Oh no, is it the Eternals? I don't know. There's a TV show now, Preem. I thought it was the American Gods or something like that.
That's a show, yeah.
Yeah, based off of Neil Gaiman's work, but it's like how money is a god now, and like
technology and
yeah. And they're like personified. I thought that was really cool. So that would be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye out for that one because I'm a Jonathan Hickman fan for sure. Do you know who's doing the art?
You know what? I don't remember off the top of my head. No.
I'm just curious. That's cool. But I'm sure it'll be out soon enough. We'll find out.
But the other big one that well, at least here in the store, we're very excited about is DC's doing Godzilla versus King Kong versus the Justice League.
What?
Yeah. That comes out in October, I believe.
How big is this thing?
It's gonna be like 6 issues, I think.
Okay.
And the coolest thing, it's a little expensive, but like there's a $15 variant cover that when you open it, it makes the roar sound.
What?
Yeah.
Say less. I'm sold. Take my money. Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's an out of continuity story, and yeah, it's basically what it is. It's like they're fighting the Justice League is fighting Godzilla and King Kong.
That sounds like chaos to me. So King Kong and Godzilla are probably fighting each other, and then the Justice League is trying to control it all.
Assuming.
Wow.
And they announced it at Comic-Con, and then they started slowly releasing images. And there's a 2-page spread of Superman punching Godzilla. So I'm like,
yes, this is absolutely necessary. Oh my lord. Wait, is this the Godzilla with the laser eye?
No,
laser.
It's basically the one that's like based on the King Kong versus Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Legendary's involved in it, so like it's a whole thing.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. And then I think one of the variant covers has Batman in a big like mech suit, like a big kaiju fighting mech suit fighting them.
Which we need that, absolutely. We need someone who can fight the kaijus in a suit because we would be missing out on that opportunity if that didn't happen. Batman would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Who else could build a suit like that?
Yeah. I'm really excited for that.
Are they all there? So Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Flash,
the Green Lantern,
Manhunter.
They're all gonna.
They're
fight
all there. Aquaman.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So
they're gonna make that into a movie. You watch.
Oh, I have to, right?
That's my guess. My guess is that's gonna be a movie. You watch. What? 2 years, 3 years from now, it's a thing.
Well, I always joke around how like because back in the 90s they did in the late 70s, early 80s, then up to the 90s they did the Marvel DC crossovers, and they don't do that anymore because both companies are owned by big corporations now, so like they don't want to help. But
they're competition.
I always joke to people like if they ever do that in the movies, like that's it, comic book movies are done. Like like they've run out of ideas.
Yeah, that's where it's like okay. I feel like they're kind of there now, where they're like, what's all the B characters we haven't explored yet? Bring them out. We're gonna write movies about them.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool in a way, but like it's also like it's like okay, we're doing this now.
I guess, right? It's just like, I don't know. Like I enjoyed the last round of Marvel shows. Like I really enjoyed Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed She-Hulk for what it was. Like people don't read anyway. It's just She-Hulk. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be Captain America Winter Soldier. It's She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She breaks the fourth wall. That's her thing. Like
Yeah.
that's supposed to happen. Kamala Khan, like that, Miss Marvel, that all turned out decent in my mind, but it's like, how many more new characters are you going to throw at me all at once? Because when you meet too many new characters, you stop caring.
Yeah. Too many
Right?
of them. Or you start like they start blurring together, like you don't remember who's who, and like
Right. And when you kill them off, I don't care.
yeah.
That was Walking Dead. Walking Dead, the TV series, we were so invested in those characters, right? We were just floored when Negan showed up and they killed off like Glenn. People left. People refused to watch anymore after Glenn got killed. But that was story accurate. That was comic accurate.
Oh,
But when they did Fear the Walking Dead and they started killing off these characters who had no story development, I was just like, all right.
Yeah. One thing with Walking Dead, you can always tell, like, oh, this guy is too happy. He's gonna die.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Where it's like this one character that we haven't seen in 4 episodes, and all of a sudden you're getting a backstory. You're like, oh, he's doomed.
Yeah, he's over.
Like, why do we need to? Oh, he is dead. I don't know. I may or may not do that too. So if the story kind of focuses on too much of one character, I'm just saying there's a good chance they're probably going to die.
Probably. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm terrible like that too. I'm like George R. R. Martin, like, oh, you like this character? Dead.
Dead.
Oh yeah, you get to know dead.
Yeah. It's funny.
What's that?
No, it's funny. We were talking about that when we were developing the book, and it was like, the fact of making all ages.
Yes, that was where I was going with this. I was like, do you kill off characters in your art?
Yeah, so we were talking about that, and it was funny because we've come up with ideas. We're like, is that too dark, or is that too it's an all ages book? And
yeah.
Cal always tells me, he's like, Harry Potter is an all ages book.
Is it though?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't know. Like, so I'm currently reading Harry Potter to my 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
And my 9-year-old daughter absorbs much more of the story than the 6-year-old. The 6-year-old cracks up when they're like, make the salamanders fly around the room, and when Peeves does funny stuff because they've seen all the movies, but they don't remember it, right? But really, when we get to like 6 and 7, I'm gonna have to explain so much because they're not gonna get it. So I'm wondering, like, how much will kids get it if you? But it also gives you an opportunity to write some stuff that's, I don't know what I want to say here, challenging for kids, or like educating, like about loss or feelings or how to cope with those types of emotions. Because there's not a ton of stuff out there that I'm aware of where that even tackles that for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Like, so we're trying to keep it as PG as possible, but like
yeah.
I think it's like just different eras. Because I remember like a friend of one of my customers, he was talking about when he was a kid, he loved Monster Squad. Like he loved it. And then he tried to show it to his like 10-year-old, and he was like, I can't show this to him. like it's a lot darker and it's a lot more like subject matters. Like that would have been an R-rated movie if it came out today, probably.
Right. I mean, when we were kids, we were watching what? Land Before Time, devastating, right? The Never Ending Story, devastating, scarred for life. And these are things that The Dark Crystal, scared for life. You know what I mean? Like that was like PG back then. But I think G is gone. We were talking about this. G is gone. There's PG, PG-13, Y7. Like there's different ratings now. But like stuff that we used to watch when we were kids, like Gremlins. Gremlins was like PG, right?
And that's supposed to be like a Christmas movie. It's pretty hardcore.
Terrified.
Which is so weird compared to that. And then you see part 2, and part 2 is just like goofy. Like it's
it's very much a comedy.
Pretty dark, but it's really goofy and silly.
Right. It was super silly until they like put one through a paper shredder.
Yeah, right.
I was like, ew. Why am I watching this? So yeah, just things have changed so much. But that's, I was curious because it's like I kill off people all the time, but people can even come back. So I was wondering, I'm like, how cartoony can you be in your story where it's like, oh, we killed this monkey, but he's back again. And that could just be like a running joke, like, man, we keep almost like Looney Tune in itself, where it's like the coyote, he gets hit in the head with the anvil and he's on the road again, chasing the roadrunner. So it's like, how many times does Gordo have to shoot the monkey?
Yeah. It's hard, man. Like we talked about it because like I think at one point the opening sequence when he fights that big worm.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, it was a lot more graphic, and we were just like, "Oh, maybe we cut this down a little." Like,
kind of have to, yeah. When you think about your audience, and that too with like my girls when they're watching cartoons or I forget what we were doing. We were watching something, and they got really upset when one of the characters got hurt. It was like a puppy, and it was fine, but it got like booped on the head or something, and they were really upset. So I can imagine when you're trying to tackle an all ages concept where it's like, how far can you go?
Yeah. But at the same time, though, like I've always had the issue with like Marvel and DC when they do all ages books, and they're like super, like watered down. Like and I feel like at that point, you're like, these kids are, you know what I mean?
Thank you, Quentin. Get your mind out of the gutter.
You know what I mean? Like I think when you water down all ages books too much, I feel like it's like they're kind of talking down to like kids, and you're like that's not fun. Like that's not
Well, I would consider it a kid's book, not an all ages, because all ages means all ages, including adults, right?
Yeah.
So it has to have something for everybody in order to be considered all ages. Otherwise, it's just a kid's book. Like then I would give to my 6-year-old, like enjoy this. It's about puppies.
Yeah.
There's no conflict. There's just like the puppy took a bath. The puppy got dry.
Exactly.
The puppy went to sleep. The end. Like that's a kid's book.
Yeah. But yeah, but like Marvel was doing this stuff for a while where they were putting out through IDW. They had these Spider-Man books.
Yes.
They were for kids, and I was like, oh, this is cool because they had like cool variants or whatever. But then you read it, you're like, oh, this is kind of just silly. Like it's just like kind of goofy. Like
I feel like that kind of level is great for free comic book day where they can pass them out for free. But other than that, like, why?
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Create a different character. Create the puppy. There you
go. Spider-Man power.
All right. Spider-Man puppy. There you go. Right, the puppy. Sorry. Spider pig. Spider pig. There you go. Oh. Let's see. Quentin agrees with me. Yeah. All ages means little kids to me. Meemaw. To Meemaw. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Yes. All ages means little kids to Meemaw. Yes. And everything in between.
Yeah.
Gordo. All ages.
Yeah.
Not watered down.
You're trying not to.
Try not to. No, I thought it was really well done. Like I said, I've read all of them that were available. I have to go back this one so I can stay in the story. Because I want to know what keeps going. It's just such a good thing. So again, people, look one more time. Here be Gordo, the Teenage Flying Saucer, issue number 3, currently on Kickstarter. The short link is here. Go check it out. Find a reward level that works for you. This is truly an all ages story. There's something in it for you, and when you're done reading it, you can let your niece, nephew, son, daughter, anybody can read this. It'd be a great for gift giving as well. Birthdays, holidays coming up. You can get your Christmas shopping done early. Oh my God.
We're looking
I can't believe I just said that.
I know, right? Yeah, we're looking at out by November. It's just
perfect.
Yeah.
So it'll be to you before the holidays. So just in time. Stick it in the stocking. Give indie comics for Christmas. Absolutely. There's so much good stuff in here. And this is so reasonably priced, you guys. It's a steal. Go pick out what you want. I will be shopping after the show so I don't have to go change my credit card number again. I did that on Carissa's show. I went back and everybody's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I went back. And they're like, on the live? And I was like, yeah, that was dumb, wasn't it?
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go call my credit card company. Spider Pup and the Green Goat. Oh, instead of the Green Goblin.
That works.
The green goat just eats things.
Yeah.
That's what it does. Can't
Takes
the
the
spider?
dog.
Yeah, spider pup has to stop the green goat from eating the neighborhood.
Yeah. That could be it.
Peter, what are your socials? Where can people find you and follow you? All of that good stuff.
So for the book, everything is at Teenage Flying Saucer. The website is teenageflyingsaucer.com. The store, everything is Nostalgic Comic Shop, all one word.
Cool.
And the thing with the website is nostalgicomicshop.com. And I think for me, it's just everything is under Pete Mellini. Keep it simple.
Right. Keep it all the same. Keep it simple. That's how you and I met, was online.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, everybody go give a like, give a follow, check it out. Thank you to everybody who came out and hung out with us in the chat. Quentin, Preem, Don, John, Keith. Who else? Chris Hayes is usually here. Black Hat Cinemaphile. I've never seen you before, sir. So welcome. First time look at these. Says, I always have coffee in the house and an extra can in the garage so I won't run out before I go to the store. When my garage coffee from places my house coffee, I get a can for the garage next day. Genius.
Yeah.
Never run out of coffee again. But that was the only comment we got, and then he disappeared. So I don't know what that was about. So okay.
Yeah. It's early.
I guess. I don't know. It depends on where they're from. You never know, because it could be anywhere. Hey, look who it is. Someone just showed up. Arizona.
SK Hobbies, what's happening?
What's up, man?
Look, we had Black Hat Cinephile is kind of new. He, I think, came in through Doc's channel.
Cool.
Okay. And he was responding to you early in the show. You were talking about you were overly caffeinated.
Oh, that's what he was. Because I was pushing the buttons and nothing was working, and I was cracking up in the background. I'm sure Pops was looking at me like I was insane because I was just like pushing a button. He's just shaking his head at me like, "What are you doing?" Like,
I know
that one played twice. I wasn't trying to. Whatever.
It's a timing thing. I know. Sometimes they get me too. I mean, sometimes StreamYard is, I don't know, I guess delayed from what you're doing.
I guess.
Like you push the button and it won't, like the video sometimes won't go for 3 seconds. And after 3 seconds, you've already turned it off and tried to do something else. Then it starts to play for a second. I mean,
you're probably thinking I'm just insane at this point, but I'm sorry.
No, I've seen it all. Did you watch last night what I posted in the Madness?
Did I what?
Did you watch what I posted in the Madness last night?
Which one?
It was an interview with Bob Chronister from
yes, I was there. Remember, I was like, "Hi, it's me."
I had only been doing this for a couple months.
I realized that it was different because it was a completely different angle.
No
you were
pins
like
on the hat,
right? I was like, and then you were like, "Oh my gosh, I was brand new," and I was
such a rookie, man. I had no idea what I was doing. It was
Isn't it weird to go back and watch some of your first things? Like I go back and I watch some of the interviews I did for my first campaign, and I was like, I didn't even answer their question. They were like, tell us how you got into comics. And I'm like, Path of the Pale Rider is a great story about blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what was I doing?
Yeah, I've had my moments. That was a really fun interview with Bob, though. Bob's really cool. He's like an ambassador to the Sworn Nation from, Lady Death, those guys,
Yeah, often.
Real nice dude, man. And I don't know, we talked for 2.5 hours or something that day. It was crazy. that's what I mean. Almost 2 hours. I was like, that was probably my longest individual interview up to that point. I had done some prom-cons, but I hadn't done 2 hours with one guy, that was trippy. It was fun. And,
it's weird because 2 hours seems like such a long time, but it goes by so fast. Like, look where we are. We're an hour and 53 minutes in, and I feel like Peter and I were just started.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Richness. The Richness has arrived. That's my co-host for Monday Madness.
Wow. Good morning. It's good afternoon, Rich. Good afternoon.
And yes.
Oh, Black Hat. That's great. I'm so excited that you stayed. Nice to meet you, sir. If you're into comics, you're in the right place. And you're always welcome on my show too. I love this where I get to meet new people, talk to indie, give them a spotlight. Like if you have a campaign and you want to come talk about your stuff or what you're working on, come on my show. I love to do this. I do,
guy,
you know.
Let me throw.
Oh, you're interrupting. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. But why'd you shit yourself? You should have kicked me out, not you. SK is one of the guys from the RC car crowd.
Oh, cool. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, man. He's gonna I'm hoping that right now on his channel they're building some holes for RC boats, like 3D printer is like making them, and I'm like, dude, I need a time lapse of that. I want that for the network. SK, if you want to bring your content to the Roku too, man, or just put an ad up or whatever, dude, you know you're welcome, man. All you guys that are doing something real, we want you in the Roku platform, man.
Peter. It's like we want Peter to have a show where he talks about comic book stuff. Thank you. I have a fun time, and I love, like I said, I love promoting indie. I am on so many shows when I'm campaigning. I need to also pay it forward. I love to pay it forward and give everybody a chance to come talk about their stuff. And people generally like my show, which is great. I'm booked out until November. So if you want to be on this show, you better hit me up before it's going to be.
Laurie's show is one of the more popular ones on the platform. That's no BS. Everybody likes Laurie, and that's a good thing because we need those headliner shows, the ones that are going to draw people, right? So, you know, I mean, when I'm out talking about it, Tuesday Morning Brew is one of the first shows that comes to the tip of my tongue when I'm talking about what we do, because you go look and people watch. And they hang out for the whole show. And that's the cool part. Right. It's like this show has the longest concurrent view time of any show on the network. Okay. People, they drop in and they hang out. And that's what it's all about, man. So, you know.
Brittany's good people. I love you, Brittany.
Oh, we got
Brittany's cookies.
we got Joe Backman over here, too. The
who's this?
Creator
Why are you showing up in the last 5 minutes of the show? We had such great stuff. Wait. Come back. Look at this. It's like, oh, you're here now. Come check this out.
Joe runs the indie creator directory, and you can have all your stuff listed on a thing life for life, like for $20 or something, and your stuff is up on the directory forever. Just got back to the office. Cool. Good to see you, Joe. But we have a big. It's getting big. It's growing. It's expanding. Get on board now, man. Look, Max ain't going to give the deals that we got to do this Roku thing. After the campaign's over, all those deals go away. Now you're dealing with Max personally in his time, and it ain't going to be the deal that he's offering on this campaign. It could be double or triple what the prices are on the campaign right now. Okay, so it makes sense to get in now. Those prices are never going to be. None of us are ever going to get to Roku for less money than what Max is making this happen, guys. It's impossible. None of us will ever get to Roku for less than what we're going to pay on this campaign. Let's get it funded. Let's get some more content up there. Have a good time. And yes,
I was trying to see if I made a short with me just smashing the pumpkin or the watermelon, and I didn't. Didn't I have one? Maybe not.
Right on, Joe. Jumping on next page. Sweet. And look, guys, like I said, ads, sponsorship, whatever.
That's what I want to talk about. Right, because on my show I want to do what I'm calling smash ads. So for like nostalgic comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would write your name on a pumpkin and Gallagher style smash it.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? And then it would play in the beginning like when we opened the show. So everybody would see your name and see it smashed across the screen, and that would definitely make an impression. And not only that,
too. Yeah,
I'll send you a copy so you can play it as many times as you want too. So we both win. It's just a fun time. So I really want to do some more of those. I love smashing watermelons and pumpkins. My kids get a big kick out of it.
Yeah. This smash ads is a great idea. It's new. It's something nobody else is doing. If you want one, talk to Laurie. We'll get you set up.
It's on the Kickstarter. Go back it.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fun stuff.
I was able to redo my podcast file before I uploaded it to Spotify to include mentioning the Kickstarter too. Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
Look, if everybody's doing that, this thing's going to blow up. It's not even going to be an issue. If everybody is pushing, if everybody's telling their friends, hey, you got a cool show, bring it to the madness. You got stuff you want to play an ad. You got stuff you're trying to sell. You got a comic book store. You got a convention coming up. Get some ad space on the Roku channel. Yo, it's pretty much that simple. We're gonna build something big, man. You know, nobody else done this. That's the fun part. I'm on, like pins and needles, because nobody's done this before. Is it going to work?
I looked.
Make it happen.
When we first talked about it, I was like, let's go to Kickstarter and see how many people, because I was like, we could do some research and find out what their backing levels were and what worked and what didn't. You know how many? Butt kiss. And I was like,
Roku. And we went to Roku and we looked how many comic related channels there are on Roku. There's like 2, and they're both like a once a week show. We're going to bring you content like view on demand from all these cool creators, all these cool showrunners that are bringing their stuff to the network. So it's not going to be like you go to the madness and there's one show a week. You're going to go to the madness. You're going to have so much to choose from. You're going to get stuck there for 10 minutes trying to figure out what you're going to watch. That's what we want to build.
Come see me smash pumpkins.
There you go.
That's a dog behind me for a second. But yeah,
well, everybody, that's the show. Again, thank you to Peter who joined us. I really enjoyed our talk, buddy. I feel like we're family now.
Wait a minute. I need this. Where exactly is your store?
In San Gabriel, California.
In California. See, now we got a California, we got a Texas, we got a Michigan, we got a Missouri, we got stores all over the place, guys. Let's make a regional show, and you guys can all compare the different stuff that happens in your regions. You know what I mean? It's like, because we all know it's different everywhere. Mm-hmm. That would be really cool. Y'all can compare what's going on. Hey, in Missouri, this is selling. Yeah, it's not selling. But in California, this is selling. And you know what I mean? Just talk about all the differences between the regional stores.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
Subliminal mind message.
Don't cover you up. If you don't cover somebody up, cover me up.
You were talking. I wasn't talking.
Okay.
I was just pushing the button.
That's okay. I'm just a hat.
Pushing the button.
I'm just a hat. I'm just a hat.
You're not just a hat. You're much more than just a hat, sir. People, go back, Gordo. Don't think about it. Trust me. You want this.
Do it. And
all right, people.
Good to meet you, Peter. I'm sure we will talk again soon, man. I'm gonna get out the way. Let Laurie do this.
Did you call me dork before you left? I heard that.
No, I said let Laurie do this thing.
No, I heard it. Peter, you heard it. I
started to say do before I said Laurie, so it was Laurie.
Okay, so it came out as Laurie. Just checking. I just like giving him a hard time. He knows it's fine. All right, people, be kind to each other. Kiss your babies, and I will see you all next week. Say bye.
Have a good one.
Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
Nothing unusual about a 4 a.m. call to a back alley in downtown Kenton. A young woman lying pristine and unmarked on the cold, hard ground. I get to work quickly, but there's not much to go on here. No marks of any kind, no signs of struggle, just a dead Vic in the middle of an alley. And then there's that. Dead body in a dumpster that looks like a grizzly bear has crawled its way out of his stomach.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit